Alright, we are officially live. And the countdown begins. Oh shit, I'm fucking making hear my voice. Nope.
Like I can. Try.
Guess who's back? Back again.
How we doing? Hey. Huh?
What?
Where's the glass? You can't see without your glass.
Oh no, I got to look at the house. No, okay. What's up, y'all? Second in command. We're back.
Back for my top secret mission.
So here we go ahead.
And it was quite a long mission. But we're back. And we're gonna keep some motherfucking ass and watch some black people play video games. Cause that's just what we do.
Right, you did right. You gotta go back and have the fucking shield. No. Say, climb up and down, look so fast, stinky ass, bro. Stop fucking climb up. It's not up, they didn't see it all. Come on, let's up. Every day. Oh my God, that's how I know. It's an idiot. You are the dumbest thing I know. Dude, you're not following what you're saying. No, stop counting. I got one more major four left with me, bro. Let's not reset. Good block. A second. Okay. Keep on my go. 3, 2, 1, go. You wait. Stop. You wait. No, this game is a joke. See, this game is a joke. Bro, shut the fuck up. Block me. No. No, bitch.
Hi, boys and girls.
2, 1, 1.
You can tell by the music. We're playing some Sonic the Hedgehog.
Come on, you can sit up.
We're gonna start with the second one because fuck the first one. What? What? No? Oh. Sega!
Yeah.
Gonna run through this as quick. We're gonna make this kind of like a sped run. Ow. I don't like the aspect ratio. I don't know why it looks like that.
To my surprise and eternal delight, 2024 has given us even more Ace Attorney content than I thought possible. Right at the start of the year, the Apollo Justice Trilogy Collection released on all platforms, which I got an early copy of and covered in January. Now, Capcom has once again given me early access to the Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, a package containing Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth and Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit. Both games were originally released for the Nintendo DS in 2009 and 2011 respectively. Miles Edgeworth is the star of both games. He became an iconic character as a rival to Phoenix Wright, the first Ace Attorney that became an ally in the following games, but his popularity inevitably led to his starring in his
Got the Chaos Emerald.
The Investigations games take
Because
place
that's how you
shortly
fucking
after
do
the
it, bro.
trilogy, which is 7 years before Apollo Justice Ace Attorney begins.
Fuck does it look like that?
The first one begins with a murder in Edgeworth's office. That's just one small part of an international conspiracy that Edgeworth finds himself roped into. And the second is also an international conspiracy, but it revolves around Edgeworth's past and future as a prosecutor. The biggest thing that makes this collection so special is the second game. The first one came out on DS in 2009 and then mobile devices in 2017, but the second game was a Japanese exclusive. It never got officially translated and released worldwide. So this is quite a big moment for the Ace Attorney series. But how good is the collection? That's what we're here to assess. If you've played any other modern re-release of an older Capcom game, you'll probably know what to expect when it comes to features. Besides the game, you have a full gallery where you can look at the concept art and finished as well as the artwork featured in-game once you've cleared certain milestones in the story. Each version, regardless of console, comes with an achievement system which might make the game more active to play for many of those who have already played them before, and there's a sound test. I think both of these games are top tier when it comes to Ace Attorney music, so this is a nice thing to have. Ace Attorney music has always been absolutely fantastic, but these games do stand out from the crowd for how great they both were. So give these a listen, as you get both the original soundtracks from the games and orchestral arrangements. Visually, you can tweak certain settings like the transparency on the text box, adjust things like the screen shaking for dramatic emphasis or not, and enable or disable fast text. Having this on when replaying the Ace Attorney games is a godsend, because you can just press a button and read all the text at your own pace, and not wait for each individual character to appear on the screen. A cool feature the Edgeworth collection included is this retro visual option. The art chain took up modernized versions of all the sprites the original game used, and I think these new ones look great and have tons of expressive facial animation that the old sprites weren't capable of. Previous Ace Attorney collections did use the original sprites, but this collection is the first time you're allowed to switch back to the sprite aesthetic if you wanted to. But I didn't use that. If I wanted to see the old pixelated style, I'd play the original version. I appreciate the effort the art designers put into the new art, so I wanted to experience that while playing the game again. But that's not it for the extra features. So if you do know a bit about Ace Attorney but not what makes these games different, I figured I'd explain that too. Investigating has always been a core pillar of Ace Attorney. In the main series, you play from a first-person POV, pointing and clicking towards evidence and discussing it with various characters. The Investigation series does a lot to expand on this. You play as Edgeworth from a third-person perspective, moving him around with the D-pad and the analog stick. It's more interactive than the regular Ace Attorney games, but it's not too different in practice. You just move Edgeworth towards evidence and gather as much of it as you can, and then you discuss/present it to different characters you come across. Other times you'll have to examine crime scenes to make deductions about the crime, where Edgeworth's stupendous logic ability comes in. There will be various facts of the case that seem disconnected, and you need to make connections and conclusions to enhance your understanding of the evidence, and thus, the crime. Though getting things wrong like the other Ace Attorney games leads to a reduction in your health and eventually a game over if you run out. The second game also adds more to the logic element through a new minigame called Mind Chess, where you have to get people to give you information by asking them questions, or alternatively saying nothing at the right moment to get witnesses or suspects to divulge more details of their own free will. So the games do a lot to make investigating feel more fun than standard Ace Attorney games, but if you haven't played these games, you might wonder, what about the court gameplay? The court segments were the bread and butter of Ace Attorney, and I can say worry not. Once you have all the evidence you can gather, you can get into arguments and rebuttals, which is the exact same thing as testimony and cross-examination from the main series. Your opponent will make their argument, and in the rebuttal, you can press each statement of the argument in the hopes of getting more info out of them, and when you find a contradiction, you give the classic counter. As the games go on, the contradictions will be harder to solve, and the opponents will have counter-arguments that the characters may not be able to refute at times, which send you back to the drawing board to look for more evidence. But regardless, the games are absolutely Ace Attorney games at their core. Though I will say, as far as my Ace Attorney tier list is concerned, the first Investigations was never really one of my favorites. It wasn't bad or not a good story, it's just that the international conspiracy plot didn't grab me as much as some of the other games in the series with more personal stakes and characters. But the second Investigations is an absolute blast, specifically because it has an element of personal drama that made it a really compelling playthrough. Both games are worth playing, and both are good games, but the second one absolutely gets my vote for which one's better. And another thing these games do is it's the most ground-based Attorney games as well. None of these games are realistic or depict proper court etiquette, and the Edgeworth duology is no exception. However, the Investigation series doesn't have any of the high-concept fantasy that dominates the rest of the series. So if you just like murder mysteries and logic puzzles, the Investigations games might really do it for you. If you're an Ace Attorney fan, you should absolutely pick this game up when it comes out. It's the definitive way to play these classic games in the series, and for many fans, it'll be their first time playing Investigations 2 for themselves, with the game's first official localization. That's exciting in and of itself, but it's just a well-done collection that is more than worth buying if you're a fan of the series. And if you haven't played any of the games that are packaged like the Edgeworth Duo, try the demo. It's free and you can see if this game's for you or not. Couldn't hurt. What's especially exciting with the Investigations collection is that virtually every Ace Attorney game is available to play on modern platforms now. We got the Phoenix Wright trilogy in 2019, and in 2021 it was pretty shocking to see the great Ace Attorney games get localized for the first time, which gave me hope to see Investigations 2 someday. We then got the Apollo Justice trilogy earlier this year, and now the Edgeworth games. This one might be tricky given its nature as a crossover,
Phoenix
but I
Wright?
hope to get Professor
Oh, yeah.
versus Phoenix Wright released
Yes.
someday. I really like that game, because that's the only Ace Attorney related game that's not released. But anyway, with all the Capcom Ace Attorney games re-released, 2 collections getting dropped in the same year even, it does give me hope that hooking up something cool and new in the series. But only time will tell if that's the case or not. But no matter what, I'm optimistic. And I think all fans of the series should be too. But that's about all the time we have this day. Thanks again to Capcom for giving me early access to the collection, and to the audience, I hope you enjoyed this brief video. I'm sure some are hoping I get around to doing full videos on these games and their stories like I did the first 4 Ace Attorney games, and I can say, I hope to get to it at some point. We'll have to wait and see when. But in the meantime, I'll close by saying what I always do. If you made it this far in the video, I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Base, a game that was a Japanese exclusive for the Super Nintendo in 1998.
Is that one?
It was given a
Oh, Mega Man base? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that counted.
Great. What makes this game so bad? And why was the Super Nintendo game released when the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 were well into their life cycle? And almost on their way out? All this will be answered as I tell you why I think Mega Man Base is a pretty fun action platformer. But before I even think about it, we gotta discuss how Mega Man is a pretty heroic guy, right? And to celebrate said heroism, I decided to partner up with Marvel Strike Force to the sponsor of today's video. Marvel Strike Force is a squad-based RPG using mobile devices where you assemble a team of your favorite superheroes and supervillains in battle to save the universe from the likes of Apocalypse and Dr. Doom. Using your favorite characters, you complete missions, unlock new equipment and resources to level up, and then you compete with other players in PvP modes like the arena. If you're a new player, you can unlock up to 17 characters within your first 30 days. Spider-Man, Deadpool or Captain America. When I started the game, I got Spider-Man and unlocked Luke Cage within minutes. A pretty cool team up. And then you spend your time recruiting more famous heroes and villains along the way. New characters are regularly added too. With this game, you'll experience all kinds of fascinating tidbits in the Marvel Universe in the story mode, with great visuals.
Why'd
So
you
if
do
all
that,
that
bro?
sounds interesting to you, which I know it does, you'd best install the game
Why'd
today
you
and
do that,
unlock
Eric? Huh?
Wolverine for free using
Huh?
this month's
Why'd you
limited
do
time
it?
promo code Logan, alongside 100
I had to
Wolverine shards,
hold it in
500 power cores, and
on our
5
secret mission
premium ores.
overseas.
And for a limited time this month, you use the QR code or
Otherwise,
click the
we would
link
have
in the
been
description. You can also celebrate Pride Month by
by the
unlocking
gaseous
Marvel's
fumes.
ultimate
This shit
superheroes
stank.
like Thor, American
This shit stank like fucking refried beans on
Halloween
Saturday afternoon.
this month. Thanks again to Marvel Strike Force for sponsoring this video.
Thank you, Marvel Strike Force, for sponsoring this video.
Program. So what is the situation with this game? It goes back to what I was saying at the start of my video on Mega Man 6. That game was released in Japan well into the SNES's lifespan, because in Japan, older hardware has a longer lifespan. Mega Man 8 released on the PlayStation and Sega Saturn in 1996 and 1997, respectively. It had colorful, flashy 32-bit graphics that were the best the series had seen up to that point. But by 1998, there were still a lot of kids in Japan who didn't have a PlayStation or a Sega Saturn and were still playing games on their Super Famicoms. Series producer Keiji Inafune felt it was worth making games for the console to make sure these fans didn't miss out. Using a team of old and new staff, Rockman and Forte, or Mega Man and Bass, was born. It is a game that uses a lot of Mega Man 8 assets to create a new 16-bit entry with gameplay concepts both old and new.
Oh no.
Evidently, the team had a lot of fun working on this one. Inafune directed them to make it tough as nails as well, which is funny because the idea was this game was for the younger fans with no PS1. It's like, oh yeah, kids, you'll get a Mega Man game. The most difficult one. And that's the game's backstory in a nutshell. There was still an audience for Mega Man and Super Famicom, and they decided to capitalize. Mega Man games are also pretty cheap, so it's a win-win. I don't think the game was ever intended for an international audience when it was first made, because the Super Nintendo was not a commercially relevant console in 1998 and has not been for years. It was all about the PS1 and the N64 in the US. That's probably why the game didn't have a number on it. That, and possibly because they didn't want to have Mega Man 8 as the next generation sequel and then have Mega Man 9.
Is that when you have like the modded characters?
Which is kind of ironic given the Mega Man 9 that we got, but that's a story for another day. Fast forward a couple of years and the early 2000s. Nintendo's handheld machine is the Game Boy Advance, which, fun fact, is my very first video game device. My first console was the PlayStation 2. Specifically, I had a red GBA SP. The main upgrade the SP had was the backlit screen. Looking back on this thing, it's insane to see it on for $99, which is $166 in today's money. Crazy that high-quality hardware was so cheap once upon a time. Anyway, the GBA was so great that the games on it were roughly around the quality of the Super Nintendo from 10 years prior, a showing of how quickly handheld gaming was starting to
Spider-Man
develop consoles. On the Game Boy Advance, Nintendo ported a lot of it to this game. So this is what Capcom decided to do.
Team Marvel.
Mega Man and Bass was given a GBA port in Japan in 2002, and that was translated and released worldwide in 2003 as a part of the Mega Man 10th anniversary celebration. Unfortunately, it's not very good. Now, the port job is fine. The game
Spider-Man got
well,
bitches.
the music was kind of butchered, but the game plays the same on Game Boy Advance as it did on Super Nintendo. However, there's one glaring issue with it, and it was unavoidable. The difference in resolution between the SNES and GBA ruins the game. As you can see on the screen,
What was
the
Web
SNES's
Ball?
resolution gives you a pretty clear view of what's happening on the screen.
What was Web Ball?
That game, put it on a console with a lower
I
resolution
think
with a smaller
Orange
screen, sacrifices had to be made.
What?
So the game zooms in on the action so you can still see Mega Man or Bass on the small screen. This makes it really difficult to see what's going on. Many GBA ports have this issue, but in a slower paced game like Zelda or whatever, you could reasonably get away with it, even if it's not the game's best version. Mega Man and Bass is a fast-paced platformer designed to be difficult. Losing this much visibility is a major issue. I don't know if it's unplayable. I didn't beat the game on GBA, but frequently it was very difficult to see what was coming. I can't imagine what it would be like if I hadn't already played the game before. But that begs the question, what do you do if you want to play Mega Man and Bass now? This GBA version is the only officially localized version that exists. It was given a release on the Wii U, in fact. Besides that, the game has not seen much action when it comes to re-releases. It was a huge missed opportunity on Capcom's part to not translate the original version for the Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 in 2017, which only had 4 games. MM&B would have bumped it up to a nice 5 games. So what do you do if you want to play the game in its original form but in English? Well, fans have had the answer to this for a long time. You simply take the Japanese ROM from your legally obtained Super Famicom cartridge, download the translation patch on ROMHacking.net, apply it, load it up on an emulator. Most importantly, don't ask me how to do any of that, and bam! Mega Man and Days. If you want an authentic experience, though, the second-hand market is fine. It was my first trip to the Too Many Games convention in 2015 when I got my hands on this new production card of Mega Man Base. The fan-translated game, just in a cartridge you can play on a real SNES. And just to imagine what it would have been like if the game was on the SNES. And in the spirit of that, I decided to go the full mile. I have these uniform cases for my loose cartridge-based games where I print out the cover and all that. By the time this game was in the West, they had stopped making US-specific art and just used the amazing Japanese art. This is a good thing, but I wanted to see what Mega Man and Base would look like if it had the Mega Man 6 or 7 US art style. So I contacted Spring Queen, an amazing artist in the Mega Man community, to draw it. The art of Mega Man and Base is featured in the thumbnail as well. The cover art came out fantastic and looks great printed out in the box. The link to her Twitter page will be in the description. But playing this game on an SNES, this is how the game was meant to be played and seen. Though that hasn't really done wonders for the game's reputation nevertheless. One might think this game is known as a super tough and frustrating game because of the GBA port. However, on YouTube and the internet at large, the game is still considered one of the worst Mega Man games, being frustrating and unforgiving when playing it on SNES, the GBA port only making it worse. Speaking for myself, I was always kind of interested in this game. I had never even heard of it before YouTube, and I thought the story behind it was really intriguing. I only learned then that it was a bad game. But ever since I first played it on SNES, I always liked it. For a while, it seemed like I was the only one. I did a Let's Play of Base's story on my LP channel back in 2016, but besides that old fossil I deleted, I never gave my thoughts on this game again. Don't even fact check that, we all know I can't possibly be lying. It's been many years since I last played this game, so I was excited to go back to it and give my updated thoughts. Before I continue though, this video may be labeled as a defense, but it must be said that this is not a hit piece on anybody or a response video of any kind. I'll talk about it more at the end, but I just want to say now at the beginning that I don't really care what anybody else thinks. Not in a dismissive way, but in a, this show is about my opinion on the game, I just thought it was good, so I'm gonna say why. People are free to not like it, doesn't really matter to me one way or another. So, let's dive in. Similar to Mega Man X4, you either pick Mega Man or Base at the start and play the entire game instead. Since Mega Man is the title character, I opted to pick him first. In the intro stage, you'll learn that the leading philosophy of Mega Man and Base level design is that patience is a virtue. Whether it be fireballs that rise from the lava or come out of tubes on the ground, getting through this level unscathed and the whole game will require patience. Skills the classic Mega Man series revolves around in general, but this game has it more than most. Like this enemy at the end. You just jump, you'll be hit by an attack or the enemy itself, fall back into the pit, and die. You have to wait for its attack to complete, and then it, for some reason, walks itself into the abyss, giving you the chance to move forward without taking damage. The setting of the intro stage is the Robot Museum from Mega Man 7. This time, a robot called King has decided he's sick of robots fighting each other over humans, and it's time to start something new. So he's grabbing some bops from the Robot Museum to start his army, consisting of Cold Man, Burner Man, Pirate Man, Ground Man, Tengu Man, returning from Mega Man 8, Magic Man, Astro Man, also from Mega Man 8, and Dynamo Man. Whether playing as Mega Man or Base, you'll find Proto Man taking on King, with limited success. Mega Man or Base having a battle with the Green Devil while King makes an escape. Mega Man is obviously going to fight King and his robot masters because that's what he does, but Base needs to stop King in order to prove himself as the strongest robot, and that's basically it for the plot. The Green Devil was a boss from the endgame of Mega Man 8, and here it is in Mega Man and Base. It is legitimately very impressive just how many assets from Mega Man 8 are reused in Mega Man and Base. Mega Man sprites are obviously the ones from Mega Man 8, but then so many assets from that game are used in pretty clever new ways, where you might not even notice it while playing. Like how they brought back the bubble segment from Mega Man 8's Tango Man stage, but then repurposed it to be underwater for Pirate Man's level in this game. The trains and the swinging enemies and rising platforms from Clown Man stage are all over Magic Man stage, as is the gimmick of timing your movement to a bell in the background. The flying whale enemy from Frost Man stage is swimming towards you in Pirate Man stage. The ice projectiles from Frost Man stage are found in Cold Man stage in this one. Not a single good asset from Mega Man 8 didn't find its way into Mega Man Base somewhere, and for a game on weaker hardware, emulating the look and feel of a PS1 game deserves some serious props. Aesthetically, I think this game is gorgeous for SNES standards, and the music is just stellar in this one. I don't usually do the whole play music for the viewer to hear what I mean thing anymore, but in this game, I can make the exception. I think this is one of my favorite Mega Man soundtracks of all time. Stages have really catchy composition, high quality sound for SNES, and can sometimes be really serene and atmospheric. It's great background noise when doing projects, and I also like to use this music in videos a lot. It's easily my favorite soundtrack in the classic Mega Man series. So, what is this game like at the top of the game? If you play it as Mega Man, things will be pretty predictable. In this game, Mega Man plays exactly how he did in Mega Man. Maverick Hunter X! Given that it's all the same animation, jump, shoot, slide, charging shots, all the good stuff. I thought Mega Man handled really well in Mega Man 8, and I think it's the same quality in Mega Man the Base. The series has reached a point now where you can just say, it's the same as all the rest, and it can be an accurate statement. It's playing as Base, which is the headline. Beginning the mission. They wanted him to feel unique to play as, so he's not a skin swap of Mega Man, he's totally different. For starters, Base can double jump. This is a godsend of platforming where you can correct any mistake that Mega Man can't. For Base's movement, they lifted the core mechanic from the Mega Man X series, dashing. By pressing the A button or double tapping the D-pad in the direction you're facing, you accelerate forward and can combine that with double jump with some really impressive movement by classic Mega Man standards. I do have a nitpick with it though. In Mega Man X, the dash is also matched with A button by default, whereas the rightmost face button. In every Mega Man X game, it was matched to the rightmost face button, but in all of those games, you could reconfigure the buttons to your liking. Dashing is far more comfortable on one of the shoulder buttons, something I learned when I first played Mega Man Zero, which had it there by default. Dashing with the rightmost face button isn't bad, just not my preference anymore. Mega Man and Base doesn't let you change the controls at all, so you have to play it that way. And I had to play it that way because this footage was definitely obviously recorded on real hardware, right? In combat, Base is very different from Mega Man. As the titular hero, you can only fire 3 shots from the Mega Buster at once and nail them straight. The Base Buster cannot charge its attack, but it can shoot as many shots as you want and can be fired in each direction. You also can't move while shooting. The trade-off of Mega Man and Base is that the former is a less mobile character and is much stronger in combat, so the charge shot is much more powerful than anything Base can do, but as Base is much more mobile and has more range and attacking, but with less power. In this game, the progression system is a bigger shake-up than what Mega Man 7 and 8 did. In those games, they took the boss roster from being 8 stages you could pick from into 2 sets of 4. Mega Man and Base has this grid where only 3 bosses are active at once. Cold Man, Astro Man, and Ground Man. I think this was an attempt at introducing more non-linearity into the game, as beating Cold Man, for example, unlocked Burner Man and Pirate Man. Beating Astro Man unlocked Pirate Man, Dynamo Man, and Tango Man. Then beating Ground Man unlocked Tango Man and Magic Man. In theory, this could lead to more strategy, like if I wanted to play Dynamo Man early, but to do that you have to play the stage that gives you his weakness, Astro Man. But in practice, it doesn't really amount to much. This game doesn't have the kind of item hunting in it that previous games or the Mega Man X games had, or I think the system might have been more interesting. But here, it's a little more than an experimental concept. Cold Man is the best pick for an easy first boss of both characters, but since this game is known for how hard it is, I want to go against the mold. Keeping in mind that I haven't played this in years and I was starting out with the character that's considered significantly more challenging to beat the game as. So I picked Astro Man first, just to see what it would be like. I wanted to see if I was missing something here when I said it was good years ago. I mentioned it so. The enemies are easy to see coming, and if you play the previous games, you know to take it slow in a section like this one where they jump from the screen to the back. I did die to the rising block section in the middle, but that was it. This level features the disappearing and reappearing block gimmicks that are in just about every classic Mega Man, but I think it's pretty tame in this one. But if you play as Mega Man, you will run into a problem where there's no avoiding it either. In all the other games, there was some tool you could use to avoid this section entirely, like the Rival in Mega Man 1 or the Rush Jet in Mega Man 3. Though, if it's a design concept so bad that you would just skip it, maybe it was never really a good idea to begin with. Option 1 in Mega Man 2 was much more punishing, since I cleared this one first try. Astro Man's boss fight was the true test, though. I've mentioned in the past that I'm the type of player who likes to go on the attack. So when I was fighting Astro Man's no weakness, got my butt kicked because I kept flailing around trying to hit him as often as I could.
You
But the strategy that
underestimated
really
me.
paid off
I
after I
hate
got
that
it the
about
first
you.
time was instead
There's
react to
nothing
whatever
you can
attack
do.
was coming in and hitting it whenever I knew I had an open shot. I then learned the pattern, saw when he was open, and knew when he was invulnerable and when it was time to fight. That boss gave me some confidence, so I went to ground then. I had the same thought throughout this game. When I tried to play on defense, I had to do time with it. The mini-boss was too much help for my liking, but it also went down pretty simply.
Lieutenant Smartass, ladies and gentlemen.
What happened to
Force a wall and fight to get closer to you, and you need to strategize which statues to destroy to get through the room.
Zero?
If you have the will to burn second room,
Thanks.
but
You
during
saved
the
me again.
But either way, I thought it was a neat.
Look what I'm playing, nigga.
As Mega Man, the final room would really test you. Using your hard shots on the little guys before they destroy the ground is
You know what time it is, right? It's time for Chill Penguin.
Sniper kill if I have to help.
Time for Chill
The
Penguin.
boss fight was like
Time for Chill
Astro,
Penguin.
in that I got through it
You
by
can kill that one?
focusing on dodging attacks. That's
Time for Chill Penguin.
So let's go on the attack and force away from the off the view. Facing the character play out. That's why I gravitate towards him and play through it. Sometimes we'll even design different segments for these abilities, like how Base has to go through an upper route so Pirate Man stage with a double jump while Mega Man has to go below and fly. What I'm getting at is that in the platform in this stage is a lot of fun to do, but I just want to give Mega Man's run more credit. The perfect stage to show this off is Mega Man. The beginning of this level is pretty tough as Mega Man. You need to ride the train cars to destroy the enemies at the right time and they'll fall off and die. There's an extra life here, so you have as many chances as you need to do it. But as Base, you can dash up and jump through it pretty effortlessly. The enemies are no problem thanks to Base's range and the platforming looks pretty trivial. For that reason, I think Base is quite fun to play as in this game, but if I'm honest, I think the game is better balanced with playing as Mega Man. That's the last thing I thought I'd be saying about this game upon the replay, but I think it's true. Playing as Mega Man first helped me see that. As Base, there are countless stage segments you can easily bypass. The Spike the Cold Man stage, the Bubble section, Pirate Man stage, the Balloon section, Penguin Man stage, the Enemy the Ground Man stage, and the list goes on. There are segments you can't do that with, like the Dark Part of Dynamo Man stage, but still, as Mega Man, I saw a diverse roster of stages and was able to get through them and thought it was very satisfying. When I played as Base, I dash jumped over a lot of stuff and used the double boost to fly right past the block section. Now, that's not me saying the level design is perfect when not using Base. In the second section of Penguin Man stage, there are a few too many bits of Base to my liking. Base makes those much more approachable.
Mega Man kicking your ass, Eric? Hell?
I think it's all mostly well telegraphed, but then at the end, you need to move quickly or get burned by the enemies dropping firebombs. It can be a bit too much, and you might get a game over here and have to play the game. But I'm saying that for most of the levels, I thought Mega Man was a fun challenge. With Mega Man, I was able to experiment with the boss orders with boss fights as him are balanced. You get decent damage jumps and hard shots, and easily avoid attacks by sliding. As Base, trying to do anything other than the weakness order is a death sentence. The default Base buster just does not do enough damage on bosses. Dashing and double jumping also is more cumbersome than trying to do damage than using counters. I played Dynamo Man stage with Base and actually ran out of the weakness ammo and died. I had to try fighting the so I really capture it until I got a game over. The lightning attack is unpredictable and hard dodge, getting shot from the next move was an issue. The boss regained health towards the end. I just did not think Base is equivalent to
More jumping?
Mega Man was. So I think players get a better platforming experience with Mega Man, and then you can tackle bosses busted only as him too. But it's also nice that the really tough stages and bosses, like Burner Man and Dynamo Man, seem to be unlocked by beating the bosses in a row. And in general, I thought bosses were well handled regardless. Too often, bosses are just easy to stun move with their now Hammer on got this. For Mega Man and Base, for the most part, Hammer did pretty well. Ground Man is used to Pirate Man's remote line, so he has attacks that are immune to his weapons, including weakness, so you have to dodge the attack when he goes back and forth. With Burner Man, with a cool gimmick,
There's no leg.
push him into the spike and shoot him into the arena. The magic card doesn't do with extremely high amount of damage on Astro Man, you can use it to destroy his clone. The copy vision prevents Dynamo Man from using the electricity attack. There are more examples here, but I really appreciate how the bosses make you put the work in, even if you have the weakness. The weakness weapon gives you an edge, not a win bar. I killed in Dynamo Man for being in the ass with his gaining health move, and Tengu Man is reduced to nothing by his weakness, but I don't think the rest are. It's just nice to see a Mega Man game that shows off the kind of design I'd like to see with these weakness weapons, and I normally spend so long criticizing these games for how they handle it. Outside of bosses, I really like how integrated the special weapons are. This one for both characters, but especially with Mega Man. Since Base can dash and double jump,
Can I do with teeny help?
with that later levels is using the ice wall right on top of it. But
Warning.
and you're gonna have to do that a lot. Many enemies will be easier to kill if you have the remote line immediately. The magic card grabs ice out of reach, and the wave burner also does good chip damage while interacting with the environment to detonate explosives, melt ice, and spike balls out of the way while underwater, and so on. Whether you're Mega Man or Base, you'll probably
Sounds like
use
Weevil
stuff
underwater.
like
It's like that like Weasley character.
once you get all you unlock the gate.
Yeah.
Since the special weapons are essential to getting the final stages, this level is attack, so you have to be able to use all your special weapons to the base, to make sure you know how they work. Each room
They got the same pattern though.
the shop is perfectly good segue into that shop. The shop in Mega Man and Base is a nice middle ground between what Mega Man 7 and 8 do. Like Mega Man 8, you buy a lot of useful upgrades that enhance the player character's defense skills, like charging faster than Mega Man, receiving less damage to full, energy balancer, or an upgrade on base buster that makes it 3 times powerful. Many of these aren't worth buying, like protection from spike damage or climbing up ladders faster, but the ones that are worth buying are games. That's what works for Mega Man 7, because the gold to that is always up naturally and with a drop of energy, and you can get up to 199 of them at a time without your lives.
You know, that's kind of scary. That was actually kind of scary when like he was like right there.
There's no E-tanks in this game, but you take whatever advantage you can get. But once all that is done, it's time for King's Fortress.
Oh yeah, Chill Penguin.
Levels among all Mega Man games.
Mission accomplished.
It was a backflip.
Mission accomplished.
His backflip that was.
Well, before I
Got a
get
new
to
weapon.
my
Look at that. Look at jagged ass Mega Man. Look at him.
totally didn't need to go this
Jank.
hard, but it's definitely for my favorite
Yeah,
character.
you know what? Shotgun
What a
pop.
pop.
I haven't had Pringles in a long time.
Looking past that, what is
Electromagnetic fire point.
For starters, the ammo you used up in the crystal stage is still drained when you start this level. You need to shoot these flying enemies to get it all back, which is why you want to get the energy balance of the shot. So that the ammo drop automatically refill the weapon you have released ammo for. That's lousy design art from the beginning, because these games stop doing the whole through the fortress on one ammo tool and then seven damage. Other than that, I think the fortress 1 is fine. I mean to say, if you made it this far, you should be able to beat this level without much hassle arising from it, because it mostly just brings back big patterns from previous levels. The real kick to the nuts is the stage of the boss fight. You stand on this platform, and when you do, it lowers each body. When the platform is lowered, the boss's weak spot is lifted. So the challenge is getting the platform low enough where you can hit the boss without dying from the lava while avoiding his attack. And this random ass monkey swimming past too. Perhaps it's a little much for one boss, but the ultimate beginner challenge is good. You have to immediately get off the platform or it will fall into the lava and die. Which is, like I said, nothing more than beginner challenge. That level is relatively harmless. It's King Fortress 2 that gets all the ire into the detail. This level is just too damn long for its own good. I don't mind the parts when you attack and avoid enemies.
Yeah, I didn't see that pit there.
This fortress, where this level really goes wrong is the boss.
Beginning the mission.
About a quarter of the way through, you face a tank that goes back and forth with a weak spot on the front, back, and top. Getting through this will consume a lot of your remote mind, lightning bolt, and operating system. I'll play it through it. Then the level just keeps going until you fight the King Jet. Platforms suspended over a bottomless pit, and a jet goes up and down with every attack on the side. Like a blinding flash bomb, obscuring your vision, an AoE laser attack, that punch that destroys whatever platform touches. As base, this is easier because it's a double jump, but as Mega Man, if you get the punch attack at the wrong time, you're basically screwed. The designers knew that because there's an extra life right before this, essentially giving you infinite try, which I also wouldn't mind if the boss didn't go on so long with no health bar to indicate how well you're doing. And if the level ended here, I still wouldn't have a big issue with it, but then, that just leads to another section which leads to the Battle with King. I don't like this boss because it starts with a phase where King is completely immune to damage and just waits for these flying X's. Hopefully you don't take a lot of damage in the process or you'll die in the actual King phase 1 and have to do it again. Mercifully, there's a checkpoint after King phase 1, making phase 2 really easy, but was that not a tad bit much for one stage? This level also reveals
I suck at candy land.
Dr. Wily built
Just
King.
about everything.
I know, you didn't see it. But Wily just got sick of face getting beat by
I'm getting my ass
one
kicked, bro.
stick with another robot, and hopefully kill Mega Man in the process. Despite the
Kill
lack
Mega
of
Man.
presentation, the dumb twist, and the fact that King is this nothing character with 50 seconds of screen time, there was an interesting concept here. King was motivated by liberating robot masters from fighting over humans, but his position as a robot master means he doesn't have the actual power to rebel against anything. He was programmed by Wily to say and do all that. When he deep down cares for robot time, but just can't defy programming. It wasn't until
What'd you call me?
Mega Man X that the robot gets the free will to rebel, and next like X and Zero
I
have the
think
free
I
will
just
to fight
accidentally
back.
submitted
But
results.
of course, Mega Man's ongoing story is interesting in concept, but you know, the game don't require me to put my thought into it. The Wily stage is the
I don't know how the conversation went from taking a bath and help
you know,
that, but
this boss rush ramp is going to come to pass, but I think this one is one of the worst. It's never going to be as bad as
apparently
5 or X7, don't get me wrong.
Sammy's sex drive ain't been working too well.
This one's so bad.
And I told her she just needs to find the right situation that gets her emotions roused up. And she responded with enticement. I'm like, what the fuck is this right now? Like, oh no, I shouldn't be talking to about this to anybody. I don't want to cheat on Jesse or anything. I'm just like, wait, what?
My issue with this is the
I'm so confused. I thought we were talking about a bat.
The 8 bosses in one stage, but was get through in order to fight them all. But it's not simple design like S1 6 count 3. It's some of the toughest shit in the game. Right after the fight with Cold Man, it's some of the most demanding disappearing block gameplay you'll ever do in the series, right above the top. It can be a real live stream, unless you just use ice. But still, my point is that you have to fight to stay alive.
Get a mouse like tomorrow.
What? Nothing at the previous level was arguably way too much of that. The final boss is also kind of judged too. The attacks in the first phase are easy to avoid and or damage with two both characters, and then the final phase is like taking the movie 8 final boss and making it even easier than it already was. The lack of E-tanks might get you killed, but as base, you just jump up and shoot a card weapon, and as Mega Man, wait till Wily gets old enough to use a charge shot and it'll be over in no time. Mega Man's story ending with him sad King is dead, a robot forced to fight against his own will. Only for Roll to tell Mega Man that King is still out there, to which they rejoice. Base's ending sees him scolding Wily for this stupid scheme as Proto Man destroys blueprints for King Model 2.
So Wily made Proto
Man always beats him because Mega Man's fighting.
Oh,
Zero
fucking
and base.
Proto Man is Dr. Light and Dr. Wily's first prototype.
Like what?
Yep.
Albeit slightly unfitting in the team.
And when Dr. Wily got evil, he stole Proto Man, and then Dr. Light built Mega Man.
Thought it was even close to that in the first place. Mega Man X4 is the perfect game to compare it to, since it had 2 campaigns.
Stole Proto Man and Dr. Light had
In X4, designers created this perfectly balanced experience between the 2 protagonists, consistently solid raw films. That game, to be effective. Mega Man and Base is comparatively well-tested. I think we can all agree that the game is not well balanced, whether you think this was Base's game and Mega Man talked in, or a really hard Mega Man looking at Base team, even though it's very inconsistent in how it was designed. The game was fun to play. I love the music, I love the challenge was refreshing, I love the special weapons and the lots of design. The progression system was new, the shop system had some cool unlockables. I just really liked Mega Man Base. I I think it kind of falls apart in the last two levels. But then I think back on Mega Man 1 through 8, games I all thought were pretty good to great, and most of them have something I don't like in them. Be it a terrible boss rush, dog robot, or bad weapons, or some stages being dramatically more difficult than others, a bland set of final levels, and so on and so forth. In fact, looking back to my favorite Mega Man games, I can find issues with most of them. I love Mega Man 02 and 04, but I can think of 100 things I changed to play them. Many of my
Oh
favorite
my
Mega Man
god.
games have less damage
Yeah,
issues
man.
than Mega Man Base, but I have no problem saying that despite being an imperfect game, it's still one I really enjoy. We're talking lower end of the top 10, but it still stands out in my mind, why I can identify it as one of my favorites. I like Mega Man 7 more than this, but I played this sooner than Mega Man 8, which I enjoyed, and played 3 times the video. I played this before Mega Man 3 or Mega Man 4, games I also enjoyed. Nobody has to agree with anything I'm saying here. Like I said right at the beginning, this defense of Mega Man and Base wasn't a response video to anybody because I don't really give a shit. I'm here to tell you why I like this game and how I've come to enjoy it over the years. And with that statement, I'd like to include another reminder of something I always keep with me in my videos, which is always play a game for yourself. You never know what you might think of it. I went into this game with pretty low expectations 9 years ago, and I enjoyed it. Still do. Every YouTube game commentator is the person giving their opinion, but I regularly see, oh, if you watch this video, you'll learn why the game is bad. And I can tell you, every YouTube game commentator is the person giving their opinion. They're not trying to express their total authority over a subject, because most YouTube game reviewers, like I said, are just people saying what they thought. Some YouTubers in the game space may have more to say because they have game design knowledge, and others may just be outraged merchant drifters complaining about DEI or whatever the fuck the thing mad about this week is. Saying that regardless of all that, you can learn something about your own perspective by listening to what others have to say, but it's never a replacement for playing or watching something yourself. That obviously includes me as well. I'm saying what I thought, but I'm just some dude on the internet. You may play a thing I like and hate it, or vice versa. That's okay. But the only way to have an opinion on something is to try it yourself. Maybe you've played this game on SNES yourself more times than I have and still think it sucks. That's totally fine by me. Differing opinions, when expressed in good faith, should be fine by everybody. Which is a satisfactory note to end this video on. Like I
I only
said,
got
this
into
is the
my
last
Steam,
game
bro.
video I'm doing for a bit. The Mega Man 7 through base weren't even on my schedule until September. I thought you guys know which Mega Man 6 video, and I was like, I'm still in the mood for one Mega
What
Man.
happened?
I only got into my
When I come
Steam.
back to Mega Man towards the holiday season, it'll be for a multitude of
My
classics.
steamy
Is
weenie.
there Mega Man Soccer?
Yeah, there's a Mega Man Soccer.
You said yeah, there's Mega Man Soccer.
Selling GTA 5. 109 gigabytes. Eric, who said you could poop? Super Corey walked away. He went to Neverland. Apparently they're making another Final Fantasy game. This XVI.
Mega Man 16?
Is that 16?
XVI?
I don't know. Says pre-order. DLC or something. Who the fuck is Mario? Can't believe they're making a Minecraft live action movie.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
It's so stupid, bro.
Like Jack Black.
Who asked for that? Gonna be all about Sonic 3, bro.
Yeah.
That's the hype movie right now. Sonic 3 is the hype movie. Hey, look, Sonic.
Uh,
Jesus Christ, they added so much stuff to that fucking Sims game, I swear to God. Flower pack. Click, click. Eric dead. Eric dead.